One Punch Man deserves better. It does. It deserves better. It deserves a 10 out of 10 anime adaptation. It deserves 10 out of 10 art and animation. It deserves an anime the same level, at the very least, the same quality level as JJK or Chainsaw Man or hell, even Demon Slayer. Because it is one of those series that is fantastic. It has great action, it has great story, it has great character designs, it has a recipe for just straight up success. And I'm going to show this scene real quick that really just, if I straight up told you that this is one of the most animated scenes of the episode, you probably wouldn't believe me, but if you watch the episode, you will believe me. And just, I want to play this clip here, because it speaks for itself. Like, you have this entire scene where Garo is walking, and for clarity here, before I let the scene play even more, he is injured after the events of Season 2. Yes, okay, he's not being able to walk fast because he's injured or whatever, but if you watch this scene, the very walking is not just awkward, but it's completely out of sync with the background. And like I said, this is probably the most movement within the episode. There's another scene that comes to mind that's way better than this. I will get into that, but if you look closely, the way he's walking, the movement of his legs, it just does not match the background. It doesn't match the way everything is moving. It is completely out of sync, and there is just a complete disconnect. And the fact that we're getting something like this on the first episode is pretty damning, because I want to point this out. Regardless if this is a non-action episode, it's a talking episode, a setup episode, a reminder episode, whatever, the point is first episodes are supposed to be good. They're supposed to get everybody back into the story, back into the series, get people excited, wow factor, cause the series potentially to trend online, people talking about it, make it go viral, whatever. But the fact that the first episode doesn't have any moment besides it is meh, mediocre, or wow, this is not really that good, that's not good. That is the opposite of what you want for your first episode of a new season. You don't want that type of reaction. And the fact that we have this level of quality, and this is one of the most movement-heavy scenes within the episode, is damning. Now, there is another scene that is inherently better than this scene that I'm just going to show. There's this whole scene where Fubuki comes into play, and she starts talking and stuff, and she goes into, like, you know, Saitama's house, and you have this whole moment where she starts to yell at Saitama, like, here, I'll play it. This is probably the most movement, it is the most movement in the entire episode, because while she's sitting here talking to Saitama, you actually see her character move around, her hair moves and everything. It's not stiff and standing still. But you know what, I'm going to click a random, part in the episode, and we're going to just showcase the still frames, or the lip flaps. And when I say lip flaps, I mean the character's mouth moving, and that's it. There's no other movement going on. Like, I'm just going to click a random scene. Just look. The characters just stand there, and they talk, their mouth is moving, but they're a solid image. That's it. That's all that's going on. You know what? I'll click another random scene. I'll click this scene right quick. Let's go to this one. It's another character just straight up talking. It's just literally either still frames put on, and it's just the characters talking. There's no movement with the hair, no movement with the arms. It is not good. I'll do another scene. Another still frame, characters talking. There's not any movement going on. No different perspective shots. It's not a good look whatsoever. I will do another scene. You have this. We have a scene with Fubuki, actually, which, once again, her scenes are probably the most movement-heavy of the episode, and it was just her, with still frame. This is another still frame. Now, I do want to point out something that this scene actually shows. The artwork of this episode is amazing. I won't even begin to deny the artwork. The artwork is beautiful. It actually looks very close to the manga equivalent. I do think that the manga is better, but it's very hard to replicate that. I'm not going to act like it is. But the point is that the artwork of the anime does look very in line with the manga. I would think that out of everything we have had since Season 1, this is the best One Punch Man has looked. In terms of art quality, that's what I'm saying. There is a difference between art and animation. And I will not deny that the art looks good. But animation-wise, it's nothing. It's literally still frames, zoom-in shots, and lip flaps moving. And this gets back into the main point I've been discussing for a while, is that this is unacceptable for One Punch Man. It's unacceptable in general, but I think in One Punch Man's case, what makes this so unacceptable is because it's not just a big series, but it's a series that it should be the #1 of the season. Not because I'm just a fan of One Punch Man, like a really big fan, a passionate fan, but it's just, it has every ingredient, everything on the table to make a 5-star meal. but the chef's cooking did not cook a meal. They threw it in the microwave, and that was it. Hell, they didn't even put it for the full time for a microwave. Like, if the meal required, let's say, 3 minutes in the microwave, they put it in the microwave for 1.5 minutes. That's what they did with this show. And I want to make sure I say this. No hatred towards the animators, director, or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to blame them. Who I am blaming, though, is the higher-ups. I am blaming the production committee. I am blaming the people at JC staff, the big higher-ups, the people in charge, everyone involved in the main orchestration of the show to greenlight it and allow this to happen. They're the ones at fault. They're the individuals that allowed this to happen and showcase they had no care, no regard for the series. And what makes this even worse is there is another series that JC staff is working on this anime season, and I know there's different teams, different staffs, different animators and stuff for different studios that work on different shows. But it's clear that JC staff, they did not prioritize this. And that is just sad. It's a tragedy. But what makes this even more so of a tragedy is that Season 3 of One Punch Man, or this content that we're covering, is some of the most action-packed content of the entire series thus far within the manga, but also one of the best arcs. Like, unanimously, everyone agrees that has read the manga of One Punch Man agrees that this is like one of the best arcs of One Punch Man, the best stretch of content because of just everything that happens within it. And the fact that we have just such laziness with the animation is scary, because people like to use the excuse it's a non-action episode. Like, that's a completely unacceptable excuse, because there's just so many slice-of-life anime that has no action in it whatsoever. It's literally about characters just going to school, and it has insane animation. It has animation that is just beautiful. It's crazy. And so, using the excuse like, oh, it's, you know, just a non-action episode of One Punch Man, it shouldn't be a high priority, it's okay for it to have still frames. No, that's basically like, you know, saying to yourself, I'm going to eat this corporate slop, I'm going to devour this corporate slop, and I'm going to be happy I'm eating this corporate slop. It's not acceptable. It's not. It's not okay. And I want to make sure I reinstate this. No, I'm not angry with the animators, I'm not angry with the director, I'm angry with the people at the top, because One Punch Man deserves better. It does. It deserves better, and it is unacceptable how this product has been put out, because people have been waiting 6 years. A lot of people might not remember this, but we've been waiting 6 years for Season 3 of One Punch Man, okay? Like, that was in 2019. You realize how different the anime landscape is from 6 years ago? Like, in 2019, Demon Slayer was just kicking off in popularity. It was just becoming popular. It reached nowhere near the heights it is at now, but it was just becoming popular. This is before the age of the rise of JJK and Chainsaw Man and stuff like that. No, it's a completely different time period. And the fact that we've been waiting that long for this is crazy. And the fact that Season 2 is appearing to look better than Season 3 is just, oh, it's not good, man. It's not a good look. It's not a good look by any means. And if there is one good thing going for this season, it's the art. The artwork is great, but the animation is just pretty much non-existent. And there is another good thing I do want to talk about, and that is the opening. The opening is good. I'm not going to say it's like to the first opening level of, you know, Hero, but the opening for Season 3 is legitimately good, okay? I won't even crap on this. But there is something that does need to be said about the opening. The opening also feels like a product unfinished. It feels like whoever was directing this opening and trying to work on it managed to only get maybe 60 or 70% of the opening done, and their true vision for it was not complete. Because there is a lot of elements within this opening to where it's like there's some interesting POV shots, and then you just have a lot of still frames thrown into it, which is like, yeah, the artwork looks really cool, once again, not denying that, but it feels like there should have been a lot more movement and stuff going on in this, and I feel like it is a completely unfinished opening. And I feel like that's what you can really just kind of say about the entire product of this first episode of Season 3. Now, I do want to say this once again. I am a diehard One Punch Man fan. I want to see this series succeed. I want to see this series become successful, the next great hit. But it's definitely not going to do that with an episode like this. And I also want to say that everything we saw in the PVs and trailers in this, like, last month, everything was showcased in this episode. Now, that might not seem like anything too crazy, but that means we have no idea what episode 2 and 3 and so on is going to look like. And if this is the best they can show for their first episode, what the hell is episode 2 and episode 3 going to look like? And, you know, I'm just going to say it right here. I want to go on record and say this, and you can quote me on it if you want. I really hope that next week rolls around, episode 2 of season 3 comes out, or episode 3, whatever, and people come back to this video and are like, Chibi, you're dead wrong. This is an incredible season. Look at this art and animation. It's insane. It is blowing us all away. And One Punch Man Season 3 goes viral and everybody starts talking about it. I hope that people come back to my video next week and they tell me how wrong I am. And I am grilled on the grill like a steak. Like, I want that to happen. But it's probably not going to happen. Because first episodes are supposed to showcase, you know, what to expect. And if this is what I'm going to expect, I'm looking at just absolute slop. So, to make a long story short, I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm angry. One Punch Man deserves better. It does. And if you act like this is A-okay, then I just don't know what to think. It's okay if you enjoy the episode. I don't think the episode is horrendous and the worst thing I've ever seen. But the problem here with this episode is that it should be much better. It can be much better. But it's not. And the priority here from everyone up above was definitely, they didn't prioritize One Punch Man at all. They threw it to the wolves. Because either A, they had the thought that maybe One Punch Man might not sell, which is crazy because, once again, there's a lot of evidence to show that One Punch Man is a perfect recipe. It is literally like a 5-star meal that you can cook, but instead of, you know, making it a 5-star meal, they put it in the microwave, and instead of cooking it for 3 minutes like the instructions say in the microwave, they cooked it for 1.5 minutes, and it's like half done. That's kind of what the still's like. That's exactly what One Frame Man is right now for season 3. But, yeah, it's not acceptable. It's not. Well, obviously, I will keep talking about the show, because I do want to see where it's going to go. I want to see how bad or good it gets. Hopefully good. But I don't think it will. My expectations were already basically rock bottom. But my God. My God. To think this is what we got. So, I'll leave it at that. Tell me your thoughts, how you felt about this episode. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you lukewarm about it? Do you think it's mediocre? You know, be honest in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys think about the show. Do you think I'm overreacting? Do you think I'm not reacting enough? I'm serious. I want to hear everybody's thoughts. I want to actually see some debates about this, and I want people to tell me I'm dead wrong. I want to see it. I want people to give evidence to why I'm dead wrong about this episode. Please do so. Because right now, it doesn't feel like a good look. But okay, I love you guys. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Chibi out.